Okay, I've started recording, just so you know.
Okay, I thought so.
You cannot sue me for recording you because I have your permission to record, right? I have his permission to record, Bob. By the way, you heard it here first. Bob Howie is the name we're going with. The duck.
I think it was Handsome Tim that suggested that too.
I
So
think it might have been Handsome Tim. Thank you, Handsome Tim. It is Bob Howie. It's Bob Howie, Bob. This week, and let me get this week, as though we do this once a week. Let me get this out of the bag. I bought the self-sealing ones.
yeah,
I know a lot of people
those are
like
nice.
people like the tape, but like to use their own tape, but I use.
Yeah.
So I have here a brand new copy of The Umbrella Academy. This is the trade paperback number 3. It's a collection of 6 comics known as the Umbrella Academy. It's got the 6 comics in here. And if you don't know, because you haven't been plugged into popular culture lately, Umbrella Academy is a comic written by Gerard Way, and the artist is Gabriel Ba. Do you know Gabriel?
I'm familiar with his work. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I can pronounce Sienkiewicz, but I can't pronounce that.
The thing I was going to ask you before we start recording, though, is are you okay? I own the first one of these. What do you call a trade paperback? Part 1, chapter 1, the first issue. It's not the first issue, or the third
Volume
issue.
1.
Volume 1.
Volume
Thank
2.
you.
Volume.
Thank you.
And the individual, you instead of comics, you just issues.
I'm gonna get this.
Yeah.
I'll get this.
It's fine. You're kind of a noob, so it's fine.
I have this
for whatever reason.
This stack of comics, trade paperback issues. I've got some issues. I've got trade paperbacks. I've got
and you've got comics.
I've got comics, and I've got this. You can't buy fewer than 100 of these at a time.
Yeah.
I don't have the boards because the boards is like the stack of boards is like this. I don't want to buy 100 boards. I want to buy 10 boards. Is it too much to ask? And I was like, I had to buy 100 of these. I'll give you some next time we're together because I don't need. I don't think I'm going to need 100. Although that would be quite the commitment for me to say. It's the 100 issues challenge. It's the 100 issues challenge, Bob, in which I buy enough comics to fill all this Mylar.
You know, I like that challenge. I think you should go for it.
It's a good challenge. I actually bought.
Then you can buy the boards.
The reason I bought all that is because I had this copy of Silver Age. These re-releases are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Silver Age comics where the Green Arrow meets some other green thing. Green Lantern meets.
Yeah.
And we read this as part of our podcast because it's part of the Why Are Comics So Popular These Days series.
Yes.
But I had it in a box, and look at that. It got a crease in it.
It happens.
It got a crease in it. So I was like, I felt horrible. And so I did 2 things. I went out and bought a bunch of Mylar. I still need to get the boards. And I bought another copy and left it in. It came in the bag and board. So I left it in there. So $8 on eBay. Not bad, eh?
No, not bad at all.
There's
a weird thing that happens to when like reprints, because like Marvel has the facsimile editions, which I think your giant size X-Men #1 is. For some, I'll never understand how a reprint goes up in value. I just don't understand it.
Is this one?
No, it's the
not Iron Man.
I'm pretty sure it's you have the giant size #1.
Oh crap! That means wait. Maybe I put it in Mylar already. Let's see. Umbrella Academy. Yes, I do. Here it is.
Yeah, like that's a facsimile. For
Like
some reason, they
board.
go like reprints go up in value, which I don't understand. Nice.
Interesting. Yeah, this one I believe you sent me with a board and bag. So
Yeah, it was it was pre-preserved.
all the comics I have came from Paul, including this is not a book haul, I promise, including Chimera Strikes, which is now in a bag. I found a board
As well
for
it should be.
Serial Squad.
Oh,
Serial
nice.
Squad #1 is in a bag. I need
Yeah.
to find a board for it. I'll bet you Jeff Bezos sells fewer than 100 boards. I bet I could get like 10 boards. Or is there maybe an independent comic shop? If anybody knows, let me know. I don't know if we're putting this in the show, but if you know where I can get fewer than 100 boards at a time, or if somebody wants to sell me 10 of their boards, let me know.
I'll talk to Toad. Maybe he's got some extras. He'll sell you.
Absolutely.
I'll just ship them to you.
Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, what was I saying? Oh, I took it out of the bag. The whole tangent was I took it out of the bag so that I could show people. I have volume 1. It's around here somewhere. I wasn't able to find it. As soon as I find it, it's going in a bag. I have volume 2, which is, man, this stuff. I also need a better way of stacking things next to me so I can pull them out real quick. Volume 2, I have, which is called The Umbrella Academy Dallas. And I have volume 3, which I've chosen to focus a little bit more on today. Volume 3, because I'm reading it. I've never read these. And so I've started with number 3, which I think is the appropriate way to start a series. You start somewhere in the middle.
Especially when it's you.
So if you've been not plugged into the zeitgeist or the popular culture these days, which I don't think describes very many of our listeners, but I'll do it anyway. So The Umbrella Academy, Gerard Way, lead singer, creator of My Chemical Romance. But first, he was a not super happy graphic artist working for, I don't even remember who, but drawing like ads and silly cartoons for corporate America. Worked in Manhattan. He's from New Jersey. So he's working in Manhattan, riding the train one day, one fine autumn day. What could be better than a nice sunny autumn day in New York, right? It's September.
Yes.
The sun's out. The birds are chirping. Everything's great.
Everything's great.
Everything seems great. You know, it was the end of history. We had made it through the dot-com bust, and we're coming out the other end of that. Like the 2000s are going to be great. And somebody flew planes into the World Trade Center. And Gerard Way witnessed this. And he said, he had been a singer in several bands, and he's like, yeah, you know, I've been in bands, but I got to make money, right? Got to make money, got to participate in capitalism. And on that day, he was like, that's it. I've decided I'll either make it in music or I won't make it in music, but I'm not going to live my life not ever having tried. Right.
Right.
So he finds like-minded individuals. One of them is his brother, who he grew up with, who plays bass in My Chemical Romance. His friend Frank Iero, some people say Iero, some people say Iero, who was the guitar player. Ray, I forget Ray's last name, but he was. And then it's always a different drummer. It's like every band from the 70s, right? They had this guy Bob, and then they had this other guy, and nobody ever likes the drummer, you know. So they always get anyway. My Chemical Romance on the bus. On the tour bus, dude is writing comics, right? And probably doing his own art at the time, you know, like he's writing and he comes up with this concept of the Umbrella Academy. And probably because he's this famous, well-known musician, Umbrella Academy becomes popular as a comic. Did you know them when they came out? Did you hear about them, or was it Netflix? Whatever.
Well, Netflix had the series. No, I was aware of Umbrella Academy when it was just a comic book.
Okay.
It wasn't something that I read. but I was aware that it was. I do really enjoy the artwork for Umbrella Academy,
Yeah.
but it wasn't something that I read on the regular. I didn't start reading Umbrella Academy until my oldest started getting into them, and then I would read the stray issue here or there.
You mentioned artwork. This is one of my. This is number 5. Just he's having
yeah.
He's actually running away from. He's in a high-speed chase with a couple of dudes from on motorcycles. He shoots one of them, and then he shoots the gas tank of the other one. It just blows up, and then he shows up.
Yeah.
He just had a meeting, like a business meeting, and like on the way to the business meeting, he does this, and then he shows up to the meeting. But yeah, that artwork is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like it's a little. It's like a comic strip cartoon version of like something that Mike Mignola, the guy that created Hellboy, would do. That's what I like about it. It's very stylized. I like it a lot.
By the way, Umbrella Academy has been out a long time. You may be asking yourself, why would the check your shelf guys? Why now? Why Umbrella Academy now? Well, you know what? The outlaw Levi Wallace created April, and this is April, and this is an April edition. There's the ape. Ape.
Yeah.
There's an ape for you guys. So why is there an ape in here? Well, I'll get to that. So Umbrella Academy 1, it all starts when like 43 women around the world give birth simultaneously, right? Which means at the same time, for those of you. It means at the same time, Bob. And this really weird billionaire, his name's Sir Reginald Hargreaves. He adopts 7 of them. Nobody knows why 43 women are giving birth at the same time. But this guy appears to know. And he adopts 7 of them and raises them like as a weird superhero team. So you got these 7 kids. Each one has, special abilities. One of them is he's this Hargreaves dude. He's a weird billionaire and also sort of a steampunk scientist kind of guy, right? And he experiments on one of these kids that he adopted. He tries to intersperse the DNA of a gorilla or an ape or some kind of primate within.
Because why not?
Because why not?
Because science. That's why.
Because science. It goes about as well as you would expect. And in fact, it goes so horribly wrong. He's like, he sends the kid to the moon. He's like, go live on the moon for a while. So if
your life isn't weird enough, go live on the moon.
So probably due to this genetic splicing and probably something to do with the low gravity on the moon. Who knows? It's science. It's science fiction. He develops he has the body of a gorilla and the head of a human. And he's wildly strong, right? So one of the 7 kids is wildly strong. And so if you, in this whole concept was instead of like the superheroes, and I'm sure those of you who read comics, including yourself, you may be going, it's not a new concept, right? But
no, it is not.
It may sound familiar. Like instead of like superheroes having like being empowered and like, oh, who doesn't want to be Superman? Who doesn't want to be Spider-Man? It's more like alienation, right? It's similar to Watchmen in that nobody likes the Umbrella Academy kids, even though they show up and solve, bank robberies, hostage situations, end of the world stuff. Like they save the world, but nobody likes them because they're weird. Yeah, I suppose X-Men, okay, it's a common theme. I don't even read a lot of comics, and I guess, now that I think about it, it's like, but it's that genre of comic. Instead of this team being like tight knit, they like resent each other. Like dad always loved you. Like the dad ends up, in the Netflix series, the dad ends up dying. I haven't read the comics, so I don't know if this happens in the comics yet. Though he does turn up in this volume, but I haven't quite figured out if it's a retro, like a flashback,
Yeah.
But if it's not a flashback, he's still around in this one, so he didn't die. But in the Netflix series, he dies at the very beginning, and that's what brings them all back together. Right? Somehow they disperse and they end up coming back together. But neglect, expectations. Like everybody's like, well, he didn't like me more. He just expected more out of me. And there's one of them whose name is Vanya, who has who's probably the most powerful out of all of them. So powerful, in fact, she has like mind, like telekinesis powers. He puts her in a padded cell and like locks her away from the world because it's like, you're too dangerous, right? Parent of the year, right? So that's the Umbrella Academy in a nutshell. They do superhero things. They also do figure out where we came from things. The character Vanya, again, I haven't read the comics, so part of it. So Mark, I'm talking to you. Part of this is the Netflix series. Part of it is the comics. Okay, I don't know which is which. You can find Mark on Return of the Son of the Show, our Paul's other channel, and he likes
he's
it.
on there too occasionally.
Sometimes I'm on there. Yeah, he likes it when I confuse the book with the visual, the movie or the TV show. He likes that, Bob. So I've started reading this, and I am going to go back and read 1 and 2. 1 and 2, I believe the Netflix series, from what I've heard, this is funny because I bought this one. I bought this one, I'm sorry to say, from Jeff Bezos. All right. And then I realized
Sometimes
I needed.
You just gotta.
What's that?
Sometimes you just gotta.
Sometimes you gotta, but I didn't gotta in this case because I went and bought the bags from a local shop and went and looked, and sure enough, they had all 3. And so I bought this one from a local shop.
And the chances are good with your local shop that if there's something you're looking for and they don't have it on the shelf,
they'll order it.
Especially trade paperbacks, they can usually find it for you. And the beauty of that is you don't pay shipping. So it's almost just like getting it from Bezos, except you're giving it to a local, establishment.
Yeah. And this guy was cool. Like there was a line, and I tell you what, when I was standing there, I was like really pleased with what I was seeing. There was a whole line of people. Like I had to wait in line to check out, right? And I just stood there thinking, comics isn't dead. Like I was like, how does there's at least 2 locations of this particular. It's called Downtown Comics. Their original location is Surprise Downtown. This one was one of their farther out in the outskirts, and I was like, wow. Not only does the downtown one survive, they can afford a second location.
That was the original title to Tom Waits's Downtown Train, but in the long run, train ran out.
But it was crowded. There was a lot of people in there. There was a line to check out, and my man had something to say to every person about what they were buying. Like, have you seen the whatever? No, I haven't seen that. Yeah, that's pretty good. They did a pretty good. Like one guy was buying Star Wars stuff and a Star Wars comic, and he's like, "Yeah, have you seen them? What did you think of what they did with this and that and the other? What did you think of the previous issue?" I'm checking out. I'm like, let's see if he has something to say. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "These are pretty weird." I said, "Yeah, I haven't read them yet." He's like, "Yeah, they're really weird, like good in a good way, And he's like, they're going to be coming out with a 4th volume. The series, the Netflix series, got ahead of the comics, and so he's like, the series kind of went off on its own to do its own thing, but they're going to do now a 4th one since they had a 4th season. They're going to do a 4th volume, and I was like, yeah, I guess they got a little behind. Gerard, MCR went on a kind of a reunion tour recently, so he's been a little busy. My man Gerard has been a little busy.
But no, comics aren't dead. They're just not. They're not as well read as they used to be, and that's a whole episode that I could do about why, but they're not dead. They're highly specialized more so now because they're not like on the newsstand at your local Al's, or Kroger. They're in specialty shops, so they're still there.
Yeah,
they're still kicking. They're still producing some pretty innovative stuff.
Yeah, And now back to the show. So, like I said, I've started reading 3, and I tell you already it's faster paced. Like stuff that would have taken 3 episodes in the Netflix series is just like boom, boom. They just run right through it, right? In the comics, and it's not as character driven. They're not digging into who these characters are quite as much as the Netflix series. And I can also tell you that Elliot Page, who plays the character that was named Vanya and now named Victor, Elliot Page came out as trans, as a trans man, and they actually adopted it in the Netflix series. They do not do that here. So I know this is Hotel Oblivion, which was season 3. And they actually were like, okay, Elliot Page is now Elliot Page, and he is going to now be Victor. And I was curious if they did it, and they didn't. At least not yet. I've read the first 5 issues, so I've got 2 more issues to go. And so far it's still Vanya, not Victor. But in the
depends on when those were produced too.
Right. Well, yeah. I wonder if they would retcon.
Trade paperbacks are typically trade paperbacks are a collection of books that were already published in the past.
The introduction was written April 2019.
Oh, so there you go. That was a while ago.
Yeah, well before Elliot Page came out.
Right, and if the introduction was written in 2019, the books themselves most likely came out in 18 at the latest, or at the earliest for that title, for that trade.
That makes total sense, and it's not like it'd be. And I'm sure Elliot Page would be the first one to be like, "Don't go back and rewrite the comics. Thank you for accommodating in the series, but don't go back." And but the way they handle it in the Netflix series was pretty awesome. Because the Ape Luthor shows up, like Victor has already told everybody, like, hey, nice haircut, right? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm Victor now. They're like, nice haircut, Vanya. He's like, oh, I'm Victor now. And they're like, oh, okay. And then Luthor comes up and like he says, hey Vanya, and they go, he's Victor now. And he goes, oh, okay. And like from then on he was Victor, right? We're just sitting here cheering, like, as it should be, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, this starts out with it's very mysterious what's going on, right? This guy is escaping, trying to steal a baby, and this is what leads me to believe this could be a flashback with Hargreaves. I got to find issue 1. I got to find volume 1 and see if Hargreaves dies in volume 1, because in here he shows up, he kidnaps some dude trying to steal a baby, and puts him in this hotel that's like in an alternate. Somebody's working on like getting to another dimension, right? And they call it After Space. And there's the big gorilla again. He's pretty cool. Like, got to show the artwork, right?
Yeah.
This isn't one of the Umbrella Academy kids, but some other superhero, probably one of the other 43 kids that were born at the same time. His name is Obscura. And it reminded me a little bit of Dr. Manhattan. You know, he's just sitting there out of space and time, just kind of. So that's pretty cool. And so they end up in this hotel that is in the middle of this dimension that they call After Space, which is just like some other dimension, right? And these guys try to escape, and I'm like, where are you going to escape to? Like, what?
Right.
Which is pretty funny. They get hunted down and, obviously dispatched with, wackiness ensues in this hotel where the kids are trying to figure out what the heck's going on. The people who are trapped in this hotel are trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm on issue 5. And at some point, I'll know what's going on. By the way, this is Allison on the cover. And Allison's superpower is she can alter reality simply by saying, I heard a rumor, and then saying what she wants reality to be. And reality changes to match what she said. Like, she could say, like, if she really wants to be with somebody, she could say, I heard a rumor you fell in love with me. And that person will fall in love with her, right? And then if that person finds out she has that superpower, they'll be like, did you I have a rumor me? She's like, does it
cool.
matter? You actually love me, right? Yeah, but what I have otherwise? It's like, does it matter?
Yeah.
So you've got this the moral cost of getting what you want and like doing, like it's a symbol of we're all like, hey, decide what you want and then go after it, right? And then you get it and you're like, what was the moral cost that I was willing to pay to get the thing I wanted, right?
Yeah. It's funny you bring up the Dr. Manhattan thing.
Yeah.
Because in the 2009 Watchmen movie, My Chemical Romance covers Dylan's Desolation Row as the closing theme, and it's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an awesome. Like for some reason I did not remember the Bob Dylan version.
Sure.
But I was like, that's a good song. And my son's like, that's cover, right? I was like, oh, I probably should have known that.
Yeah,
it's a great video.
Yes, it is to Dylan what Hendrix's version of Watchtower did to Dylan. It's
right.
vastly different, but great.
Yeah. Yeah, the video is pretty awesome. Like some Nazis get their ass kicked. Which, who doesn't want to see Nazis getting their ass kicked, right?
I mean, Nazis, but
other than Nazis,
they know who they are.
So,
You've done a lot of broad brushstrokes with talking about this series, but it would be cool if you would like start from the beginning and you work your way through it if you want.
Sure.
And I think it would be fun to see because you know me, I'm a comic book guy, and I have way too much information up here that gets in my way sometimes when I'm trying to explain things in the comic book world. But it would be cool to see somebody who isn't discuss it. So maybe go like if you guys want to see Steve do I keep wanting to call it My Chemical Romance, but Umbrella Academy. let us know down below, and we'll make it a thing.
Yeah, man, I'd be happy to do that. I didn't quite make it through. I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to do this, so I was like, I started reading one and I didn't quite finish it. But I'm happy to go back to the first one. If I don't find it soon, I'm just going to buy another one. Yeah. So anyway, if you're into comics, check it out. If you have Netflix, go watch the series. It's a pretty good series. If you need to hear some music from some people who maybe have been through some stuff and maybe you can relate to what they've been through and it'll help you get through some stuff, check out My Chemical Romance.
All right. Well, then I guess we'll call it an episode. And I'm Paul.
I'm Steve.
And the next time you're looking for something to read,
ape your shelf. We forgot to do the introduction.
That's fine. People know who we are.
We just got right into it, didn't we?
Yeah, I love that. I think that's great because everybody else. Well, some people will have an intro, but we don't need one now.
Yeah, they know who we are.
they know who they are, and if they don't, and they like our channel, they'll watch one or two other ones and figure it out.